PSV Eindhoven Diving Cup, where you can see the last few divers making preparations for the synchro competition that we're gonna look at. And as you can see in the program, we have a lot of synchro today, 5 different synchro competitions, and I will name them for you. You have the Synchro Men Platform Open, Synchro Women Platform Open, Synchro Boys B&A, also from platform, Synchro Girls B&A, also platform, and then the Mixed Synchro B&A. So you'll see a boy and a girl diving together, and that's gonna be an interesting challenge to see a boy that could be stronger than the girl to keep the same height and the same pace in the diving. But if they've practiced really good, then it will be very nice to look at. But again, 5 different synchro competitions in one competition. So synchro men and women, synchro boys and B&A,
will the judges
synchro
please be so
B&A,
kind to take their seats, so we can
and
start
the mixed synchro
competition in time. Execution 1, Rianne Verhoeven. Execution 2,
the judges
Iveta
are
Jerkova.
called to their
Execution
seats.
3, Daphne Scheffer. Execution 4, Tarek Saleh.
And to explain a little bit what you're going to see with
Linda
the
Prins.
scores
Synchro
is
2,
you'll
Damien
see
Bol.
2 execution, no, 4 execution judges
Synchro 4,
and
Ballas Liga.
4
and Synchro 5,
synchro judges.
Georgi Kobanov.
So in total you'll see
De referee
7
is Arne
judges.
Telsen.
Sorry, 8 judges. And the way that it works with the scoring of the judges is on one side, 2 judges will score for the diver on the far side of the pool, and on the other side the 2 judges will score for the diver on the nearer side of the pool. And then you have the synchro judges, and they give their scores as well, their mark as well. And the highest and lowest scores will be scratched, and that will be added with each other and multiplied with the difficulty degree. And then you have a score for 1 round, and that's what they're going to repeat for 6 rounds, at least for the men, and 5 for all the other age groups. So the synchro women will do 5 rounds of dives, the synchro boys will do also 5, synchro girls also 5, and the mixed synchro B&A also 5. Only the synchro men will do 6 dives, so they're gonna start first.
Please stop diving. We're going to start competition.
The first team that is gonna dive is from Egypt, from Ali, and it's Belal Mohammed and Ziad Yusri. They're gonna start their competition with a pike dive forward.
First team on the platform, Bilal and Ziad.
You see the concentration. Yeah, the diver on the foreside was a little bit early on the takeoff, so he was a little bit in front of every move
For
with
execution,
compared to his teammate.
8
But
and
not
a
a bad
half.
dive.
For synchro, 7.5, 6,
Here you can
6
see the
and a
far
half,
diver is a
7,
little bit
7.
early in all the movements, but still the synchronized diving is still okay.
Flavia and Sylvia.
And then we go to the next competition within the competition, the Synchro Women Platform Open. A reverse dive piked. Nice synchronized dive, but with the entrance you can see that this diver on the far side has a little bit more water coming up, and the judges might have seen that and might deduct a few points for that. Both of them have a lot of splashes, but they have a lot of guts, a lot of nerve to jump up and still make the dive pretty clean.
Stefano and Francesco, 10 meters.
Still sevens, and that's a good score. And then the Synchro boys, BNA. That's a gutsy first dive, 1.5 somersault forward pike. The reason why this is a gutsy dive is because
for execution,
the first 2 rounds,
7.5, 8,
prelims,
9.
you can
Synchro,
only
8,
do dives that are not higher than
7.5,
2.0.
8,
So
8.
you can do a pike forward dive instead of a 1.5 forward pike as these guys do. Synchronize a little bit apart from each other, but not a bad dive. Nice 8, 7 halves. It's a good start for these divers. And we see the Synchro girls also starting with a 1.5 forward pike. Both of them are a little bit over with the entry. You can see that it's in slow motion. Bit fast into the somersault, that's why they have too much speed and they go a little bit over. You can see that also with the splash, they're going one direction, they're going away from the platform instead of nice up or nice rip without any splash. Still 7 halves for the synchronicity and 6.5 for the individual scores. And then we have the mixed synchro. Interesting to see is this is a boy and a girl. They have to be really in sync. Not bad for a first dive. Inward pike dive, so jumping backward but spinning forward, rotating forward and doing a pike. You can see that the boy on the left is a little bit more powerful, so he jumps a bit higher, but the timing of the movements coming out of the pike is pretty good, so the synchronicity over there is pretty good. 6, 7 for the individual, 6.5, 6, 6 for the synchronicity. And then from Norway, Elma Gallassen and Axel Runing, 1.5 forward piked. Here you can also see the difference between the physique between a boy and a girl. The diver in front, the boy was a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more going to the top than his teammate. Here you can see definitely the difference in their diving style, and you can see that back in the synchronicity scores. 5.5, even a 4.5. That's not a good start for this team. Jonas, Erik, and Anna-Sophie. Here you can see a very good pike dive backwards, and also a good example of how a boy and a girl can really work together. Nice, the same height when they go up, and almost the same timing when they come out. So this is a good dive, good start for this team. A little bit of style difference, but with synchronicity was pretty good.
Round 2, Bilal and Zian, 10 meters.
Then round 2. Bilal and Ziad, they're gonna do a back dive pike. Nice. A little bit heavy entry, a lot of splash, but the way they lead up this dive, like going up, touch your toes, a little bit feet out apart from each other when he touches the pike. This diver on the far side, and as you can see, a little bit over.
Flavia and Sylvia, 10 meters.
From Italy, Flavia Palotta and Silvia Muriani. Back dive tucked. So they really have to jump up, take it easy, and be early with the come out. Ah, nice dive by the ladies from Italy. And the funny thing is, this is maybe on paper an easier dive, but from the 10 meter, this is a harder dive because the tuck is so fast that you have to come out really quickly and really know where you are in mid-air. And that's what they've showed pretty good. And a nice entry as well. Not a lot of splash. Almost 7s for average judge. It's a good score. Stefano and Francesco. Nice 1.5 backward at a half twist with a great entry. This is a nice dive to show the judges that they can dive, jump up, technically really good jump up, keep the body tight so the twist is easy, and then nice entry, a nice rip landing. And that will impress the judges really good. You probably can see it in the score in a few. Yes, 8s from almost all the judges, so they are really impressed. A good dive by these boys. Then Caroline and Helle. Inward pike dive. It's a little bit to the back, and when they want to dive, when they want to make the entry, you see that there's no tension in the abdomen, so the top of the body with the ankles are going over the head, so they land over. The entry is a bit over, and you can see that by the splashes as well. Then Guurtje and Alexander. This is also a combination from 2 different countries. Guurtje is from the Netherlands and Alexander from Bulgaria. It's not something you see often, but it's nice to see that international couples can also exist. Nice pike dive. And also here you can see that with a back dive, they're a little bit out of their comfort zone, and they're going to focus more on their own dive instead of each other. And you can see the differences a little bit with this dive, but not bad.
Elma and Axel, 7.5 meters.
Elma and Axel. Reverse dive piked. This is also a good example of divers just out of their comfort zone when they're going to focus more on their own dive. You can see the guy in front is a bit faster in all the moves than the girl. I think that the girl in this dive is a bit better than the guy. Yeah, she also has a 7, so that's good. Synchronize is not so good because, as I said, the boy was a little bit too fast in all his movements compared to his teammate, his teammate. Jonas and Anna. They had a good first round. Let's see if they can keep it up. Also this, a very good synchro dive. The boy, Jonas, he's really in tune with his teammate by holding back, or maybe even the girl's a bit stronger than the boy, so the synchronization is also always good. Judges don't agree with each other completely with a 6.5, 8, and a 7.5, but still in total a good score. Round number 3. Bilal and Ziad. Reverse dive, pike. So jumping forward but rotating backward. The diver in front, he has a nice entry, but his teammate, he has a lot of splash. And two different styles when they go into the pike and also out of the pike. And yeah, you can see with all the splash the judges gave Bilal or Ziad a 4.5. Then Flavia and Sylvia. 2.5 backward with a half twist. Important is to be really technical. Jump up, twist, and somersault. Yes, a good execution by the Italian ladies. They really tried to do it in a technical way. So jump up, keep the core, good intention, and then in your somersault, and then a nice entry. Good control. A little bit splash on the entry from the jumper, from the lady in front, but still a good score.
10 meters.
Nice 3.5 forward pike. They came up a bit short with the entry, but it's a hard dive and also difficult to be in the same pace, in the same timing in every somersault. Here you can see that the jumper in front is a bit faster than his teammate, but still both enough, not fast enough to make it till the end with the entry, and they come up a bit short.
10 meters.
The coach is showing them what they did with their dive. It's a good way to reflect and also to do the things better that you haven't done in this round. Caroline and Helle. 2.5 backward pike. They had a good start, but when they come out, the tension in their body is a bit loose, so the legs fall back towards the water and they come up short. But here you can see they know where they are, they're watching, but when they come out, the tension is just not there strong enough to pull it nicely into the water. Then Guurtje and Alexander. We're gonna do reverse 1.5 somersault tucked from 5 meters. Nice to see with 2 different arm swings, 2 different techniques. They still managed to get the timing right coming off the platform. Technique with the coming out is a little bit different, but still not a bad dive.
7.5 meters.
Then we have Elma and Axel. And they're gonna do 1.5 backward with a half twist. Important is from 7 meters. Important is to jump up, keep the body in tension, your core muscles in tension. Here you see that the two divers are definitely not in sync and they have a totally different timing.
For execution, 4.5, 5, 5, 4. For synchro, 4.5.
So this is sadly enough not a good dive of this team.
Jonas and Anne-Sophie, 5 meters.
Then Jonas and Anne-Sophie, they had 2 good rounds before this one. You can see the timing of jump off is perfect, but when they are in their twist and want to dive into the water, you can see that the technique is different. Jumper on the left, the boy is a little bit sloppy in his technique. You can see the legs go a bit open and not in full tension, but still manages to get it right on his head, so that's good.
Round 4, Bilal and Ziad, 10 meters.
Round 4, Bilal and Ziad. Two and a half forward and a full twist. So important is the somersault. You can see the somersault is pretty good, but when they go into the twist, you can see that sloppy. You can probably see it in the slow motion. Somersault is good, but when they go in the twist, you can see the legs going open and they don't have the muscles tension in it, so it's a bit sloppy. You can see that here really good. And because of that, the synchronization goes apart and isn't as nice as the beginning of the dive.
And Sylvia, 10 meters. Execution, 6.5, 6, 6.5, 6.5. For synchro, 6.5, 6, 6.5, 7, 7. Stefano and Francesco, 10 meters.
Then we see Francesco. And Stefano, 2.5 reverse tucked. Both of them have a nice jump off, so they get enough height in their dive. But in the end, the synchronization is not as clean as it should be, and the entry is also a bit messy, but they know exactly where they are, slightly over from the diver in front, but 6.5 for synchronization. It's not bad. Two and a half reverse by the ladies. Jump up is good. They're looking where they are in the somersault. That's spotting. Here you can see it good. Watching at the water, watching at the water. So they're a bit short with the entry, so they came out a bit short, but not bad at all.
Guurtje en Alexander, 7,5 meters.
Then Guurtje and Alexander. 200 forward, piked. Nice! Good jive by Guurtje and Alexander. This is a dive where you can definitely see they're in the comfort zone. They know how hard they can push with the dive. Alexander on the left is a bit faster in the somersault than Guurtje on the right, but still pretty good dive for these two. Technique wise, pretty good. Yeah, you can see 7.5, 7, 6.5, 7. So technique, the execution for the diver is pretty good. Synchronization, a little bit, a few mistakes, but still a nice dive. Elma and Axel. Different styles of lead up. Ooh, Elma's a bit comes up short. Probably because she didn't see quite as well where she was in her somersault.
Execution 1.5.
Oh no, she lifted her legs when she went into the somersault. Instead of that, her arms are going to the legs, so she can create speed for the somersault. Her legs went up to the arms, and that stops the somersault. And yeah, you come up short.
7.5 meters.
Jonas and Anne-Sophie. Hey, first dive that is not as well as the other dives that they've shown before, shown as far, but
For execution, 4, 4,
two
6,
different
6.
styles of
For synchro, 4, 2, 3, 3,
runs
4.
to the platform, different timing, and it also almost seems like that Jonas has given up
Round 5.
midway his somersault, and you can see that with the force that he's gotten. Then round number 5, 3.5 forward, piked. Yes, good synchronization. Sadly enough, with the execution of the dive, both of them go over with the entry, but still that is synchronized, but still.
6, 5.5, 3, 4.
The total of the dive, the complete dive, has to be good for also the synchronization to be a good score. You can see 4.5, 3.5, but still 3 6s. Because synchronized, it was a good dive, but still both of them went over. And you can see the judges don't agree completely with each other. Flavia and Sylvia, 3.5 forward, piked. Taking the measurements from how far they have to stand for their run. The dive by the lady from Italy to come up a bit short. It's a hard dive. Synchronization was not bad. Technique is almost the same. Timing of coming out is also the same, but still they don't have enough speed to make the dive have a clean entry with the dive. Synchronization is pretty good. Sadly enough, at the end they don't have enough time and speed to make the entry clean. Thank God they still can laugh about it. They're talking about the small mistakes they made with the dive. It was overall still a good dive. Stefano and Francesco. 2.5 inward tucked. tricky dive because this in the tuck, the somersault goes so fast that you really have to pay attention to where you are in your somersault. And if you miss the timing, miss the spot moment, you can easily go over. And you can see that with these two boys, synchronized, they go over with the dive.
Carolina and Helen, 10 meters.
Carolina and Helle. 2.5 backward, half twist in a pike position. First twist, then somersault. Nice dive by these ladies.
Execution 7, 6,
Jump up.
6.5.
Dive on the left. It's a little bit fast with the twisting. That's why she wobbles a bit when she goes into her somersault, in her pike somersault. That means that her technique wasn't as clean as it should be, but still her entry was really good.
Future Alexander, 7.5 meters.
Then we have Guurtje from the Netherlands and Alex from Bulgaria. We're gonna do a 2.5 inward tucked from the 7 meters. So also with this, they have to pay attention on where they are in their somersault. Oh, nice dive by these two. Guurtje comes up a little bit short. Instead of pointing her feet towards the roof, she points it towards the other side of the pool, and that's why you can see also in the splash that she's a bit short. It goes away from the platform, but Alexander has a great dive, a nice rip landing, and he has a good score for that one as well. A 7 and 8 for Alexander. Yeah, you can definitely see that this is a great dive for him to do. Elma and Axel, same dive, and also from a 7 meter. With the somersault, the timing of the somersault wasn't exactly the same. You can see that one of them is a bit faster than the other. And with the entry of the boy, yeah, you can see the difference here with the entry, with the somersault, and with the entry you can see that the boy doesn't have his underwater technique clean. He scoops underwater instead of a roll. And from 7 meters, you don't want to scoop because that's not so. That's not a good feeling for your back. And then Jonas and Anne, they're gonna do their last dive, a 2.5 inward tuck. Last round they had a little bit of a mistake, and let's see if they can make up for that. This is a better dive than the last last dive, but Jonas was a little bit unsure with the entry with coming out. So he was not as tight with the entry. You can see the little bit of the mistake with Jonas, but it was unnecessary. He should have waited a little bit longer and then straight ahead in one time come out. But he wanted to do it nice and clean through a pike position and then dive. But congratulations for both of them. Closing this competition is the man from Egypt, from Ali, with a 3.5 inward tucked. Both can do the dive, but the execution of the dive isn't as good as it should be. They know exactly where they are, so technique wise it's okay, but still they need a little bit more space, a little bit more speed in the dive, in this dive, to make a clean entry. 4.5, 5.5, 6 for the synchronized. It's an average score.
Next competition.
Well, this was the synchronization competition, the synchronized competition from the platform. And the next competition will be the girls B. So sit tight or grab a sandwich wherever you are and wait for a few minutes, and then we're going to see the girls B platform, where we're gonna see 8 girls from a platform